because I've talked to people throughout the pandemic where they would beat themselves up over not being able to get out of bed. I'm like, then try again tomorrow. You can do it. And that's progress. That's a small step. And even if it's just that, it's a better you than you were yesterday. You don't need to compare yourself to the people who are going out and doing all of these things. You just need to be you.
What's up, peoples? It's your bartenders, Mr. Z.
And your boy, Omega.
Welcome to our 1-year anniversary mukbang special. Trigger warning, if listening to or watching people eat is not your cup of tea, then this might be a hard episode to get through. We're joined by ZorDonofDoom and Kieu Grisby with a special appearance from OG cast member Eddie Ray as we share a feast and celebration, recap the past year, leave advice for the future, and share stories along the way. Thank you for this last year of podcasting, and here's to many more. Cheers. As every episode, we want to thank all of you for listening. We truly appreciate you listening to our hearts and minds on varied and difficult topics.
Special thank you goes out to our Patreon subscribers for their support of the show. Every little bit helps us reach our goals to invite more high-profile guests and create bonus content.
And if you want to join in our conversation outside of this cast, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at HaveADrinkCast, and make sure to use that hashtag HADcast.
Remember, this is always a conversation. If you don't agree, you want to voice your opinions, or even suggest a topic for an episode, feel free to join our Discord as well. The link will be in the description.
And please, if you like what we're doing here, share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors. Hey, maybe make us a topic for your family dinners. See if you can all share your hearts and minds. Your referrals mean a lot to us, as that's how we gain more listeners. So,
Thank you again.
and get prepared to sit
Think.
and have a drink.
Welcome to Have a Drink Podcast. Enjoy the episode.
What he said. Peace. What's up, peoples, and welcome back to another episode of the Have a Drink Podcast, where we invite you to sit, think, and have a drink. We're your bartenders, Mr. Z.
And I'm your boy Omega.
Hey, and joining us at the bar for this very special episode, our 1-year anniversary, we have the amazing ZorDonofDoom. Hey, and returning again, we also have the amazing, the awesome Kieu Grisby.
Hey. Never seen anybody so extra with some apple juice, so that's pretty amazing.
I was gonna start tutting, but it would end up all over me, and I was like, "No, let's just keep it clean. Keep it clean."
Oh, so I say this is a very special episode, not only because it's our 1-year anniversary, but because it is also we're shaking it up a little bit. I know this is called the Have a Drink Podcast. We don't really focus on drinking much, but I felt like we should have something that kind of like brings people together, which is, a feast, a mukbang, if you will, since we're going to be broadcasting this and whatnot. If you're listening to this at home, I implore you to hop onto YouTube and check us out and, be able to see the interactions, see our beautiful faces as we stuff it full of food. But yeah, I figure it would be a great idea to kind of like go over what we got, who's eating what.
Let's do it. Well, I'll go first because I'll cheat because everybody else has got an array of food. I just got off of work and I just went to Chick-fil-A, so I have my crisp cut fries. I got a Coke. Man, that fries good. I got me some chicken nuggets. I got my sandwich right here. And I got some Old Forester 1910, almost at 20. But I poured it in my little Nirvana Soul cup. Blow. And then I got me some water right here. Blow. And then if I run out of food, but I probably shouldn't, I also have some rice cakes and some oatmeal on deck, and then I got some fruit in the refrigerator and another sandwich. Yeah, man, I'm on my fat man today.
Hey. Zordon, why don't you give us a rundown of what you got going for you?
Okay. So for starters, because you always start with I got my salad. It's a Caesar salad. And then I got I got all of this from Panera. This is the 10 vegetable soup, I think. I forgot what it was called, but like a bowl of that. And then I have 3 pieces of bread that I'm gonna use to dunk into my soup. I also have 2 cookies, 1 and 2. Don't fall. Oh no. And then I have a steak. I think it is steak. Yeah, steak and white cheddar sandwich. And then I have Night Prince boba with double boba, agar boba, and pudding. This 25% sugar. And also a backup boba because I'm a boba fanatic. I have brown sugar with green milk with cream boba with crystal boba and 25% sweetness. So I am
You are
ready.
the first person I've ever met that has a backup boba drink.
I sometimes have 2 backup bobas. This is light.
This is impressive. I love it.
All right, go ahead, Q. Why don't you show us that delicious food?
I'm still giggling at the backup boba.
You gotta have backup boba. I mean,
I'd never thought to name my food like backup. So, wow, I'm everywhere too. I have, well, after hearing Zor, I was encouraged to reach in the fridge, my virtual fridge right here, that you can't see, and start making a salad. So we have a salad that I'm assembling. I'll start with the greens and goods. This watermelon, because you know a brother can't go a summer without one. And applesauce, but this is the strawberry applesauce. That's the little kid in me. I still love my applesauce. I haven't had one of these in years. I have. Look, I even used the little protective covering. Hot Pocket.
got fancy with it.
What's it gonna be? I have orange, apple juice, and hold on, there's more. Popcorn with hot sauce.
Yo, okay, I thought I was the only one who's done that. I mean, I love hot sauce just in general, but like, I thought I was like a weird kid for putting hot sauce on my popcorn. Cause I mean, I had asked people, I mean, school I went to makes sense, but like, like the people I had talked to, they were like, wait, what? You put hot sauce on your popcorn? I was like, yeah, no, no one does that. Never mind.
Try wasabi. Wasabi powder on your popcorn.
Wasabi powder.
It's delicious.
I'd be scared I wouldn't be able to control it, and like as well as hot sauce, and then it burn my nostrils.
Yeah, it definitely clears the sinuses.
Whew. That's a different kind of hot too. In China, I use wasabi generously as I use it here in the States. Mistake. I took that little piece of sushi, dipped it in there, and it wasn't the hot that burns your tongue, or it went to the back of my head and the back of my head got hot. Do you know what I'm talking about? Has that happened to you?
Yes.
It's like, it's not your throat or your tongue. It's just all of a sudden you're just radiating hot.
It seeped into your bloodstream, assimilated with your body, and it's like, now I'm taking over. Enjoy this pain. It's new.
Oh man. Craziness. But no, I'll try it. I'll try that, Zor. I'll try it. a little. Where do you get wasabi powder? You have to go to the Asian market.
Yeah.
Okay.
99 Rand.
What about you, Omega?
Oh.
Have you tried hot sauce on your popcorn?
I'm black skin, bro. You know I have. And I do tahini with limon on there. I've done it all. Amazing.
Yeah, you are black skin for that.
I really am. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
All right, and for me, I've got myself, pizza my heart. They do a delicious vegan pizza. I got, the vegan pepperoni, the sausage, jalapenos, olives, basil, cilantro. Got to get the goods on there. Vegan parmesan. I got my side over here. I didn't start with the greens, but I got a little salad, a whole Mediterranean plate I got going. You got the Mediterranean salad, you got some beets, you got some tabbouleh, which is like cracked wheat. This is quinoa, some basmati rice, got some falafel, and then some impossible meat going. I've also, got some bags of chips. I got some veggie jalapeno straws, some I got backup bag of chips. You got to get the hot Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos. I was going to get the extra flaming hot, but they didn't have them. As well as, had to get myself some dessert because for the first time ever, I'm going to try these amazing little licorice pipes that were gifted to me. Shouts out to Kelly, who has been on the show, as well as, from the Bourbon Exchange. Shouts out to Joe for this one. It's delicious. I had finished Omegas. I still been working on Joe's, as well as got myself some Black is Beautiful. I had to get my white girl on with some White Claw. As well as, my tiny humans got me this Pickle Rick Miracle Seltzer. It's pickle seltzer.
How did you follow up? How did you follow up White Girl after Black is Beautiful? Are you trying to say something, brother?
Hey, I am a multiracial person. I embrace all of my sides, fortunately and unfortunately, well as, so copious amounts of water. But on that note, let's dig in.
Yes. Now, everybody unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You gotta eat. You gotta eat on mic. Thank you, God.
Also, trigger warning for those who don't like listening to people eat their food. Go ahead, turn this episode off. It might not be for you, but if you could power through it, by all means, enjoy the hell out of this.
I have added to the list since you guys have.
Right? Looking at y'all, I'm like, ooh, should I grab some other thing?
Every time I heard you mention something. Yes, I have watermelon here too. And my dad fried up some shrimp.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's some fried shrimp here. So all I need is hot sauce and my salad. Don't nothing go with nothing. From fried shrimp to applesauce to a hot pocket and watermelon and popcorn.
Hey.
Sounds like a feast.
Yes.
All right.
Well, so my dad threw blackberries on my plate with some blackberries. Keeping it black. Those are good too.
So I have an announcement. This is very special.
Okay.
Are you ready? Because this is our 1 year anniversary, and there was a lot going on when we first started this podcast. But I'm gonna show you something, and you guys will figure out the rest. Are you ready? Hold on.
Hey, congratulations, Mr. Graduate.
Whoa, congratulations. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey. And
San Jose City College graduate now. And I start San Jose State in the fall. So I'm super juiced. And then I celebrated my 36th birthday this past Monday as well. So this has been last week. But yeah, that's man, this has been amazing. So this has been a great month of celebrations. And I'm in Connecticut with a new job and a new promotion, as you see, Bellator MMA on my hat.
Connecticut.
Shirt, sweater in the back. Yes, I am in the Mohegan Sun in Unkstonville, however you say this place, Connecticut. So this is nothing but a bunch of celebrations. I cannot eat with this on because it is bothering me. But yes.
Congratulations.
Congrats and happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birth month.
Thank you. I am juiced. There's so much that's been going on during this pandemic and everything else that I can't just be down. I got to be happy. I got to celebrate. And to go this podcast has helped me see it through. So with that have also been said, thank you guys, because you guys have helped me to get to where I am today. So each one of you have been very influential in my journey. So thank you so much for everything. And that's why I want to bring this up too.
And it's followed up with a
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what's funny? I did that in my sleep.
in your sleep.
Yes, my wife told me that. She said she heard me talking about something was good in my sleep.
She
She said she looked over and she thought I was
food.
eating something, and she goes, I said, babe, what are you doing? And she's like, and she looked over and she said, all I know is I saw you go like this. In your sleep.
In bed. Wow.
She thought I was eating food, but I wasn't eating anything. I was just sleeping. And I just started in my sleep.
How powerful the mind is for you to even think that, one, that you really had food, and then two, that you were getting it out of every.
It must have been delicious.
all in your gums.
Right?
Get it.
Well, you know, you were just showing how excited in anticipation you were for, you know, this episode to happen.
Oh yeah.
What would that have
like
been?
Many years ago.
What food would that have been?
Do you remember?
That would make you do that, you think?
Probably some
I don't
ribs.
remember.
Okay.
Even if you don't remember, what do you think it would have been?
It would have been some ribs.
It's such
I would have had some barbecue sauce up on these fingers. And
About right.
you know it.
I actually haven't had ribs in a long time.
You're missing out.
Me either, but for obvious reasons.
Ew, do they make vegan ribs?
Mm-hmm. I make vegan ribs.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Hey, yeah, Zor's tried it, so you know the person who loves food. Obviously, it's not going to replace her meat, but
I just need the texture to be right.
oh yeah, no, the texture is everything. Trust me, I had tried to perfect it 3 different times, just trying to get that texture just right.
You know what, Z? I'm a big supporter of you. I will try it one day.
I appreciate that.
Only if you make it.
Absolutely, I will definitely be the one to make it, brother.
And then I'm gonna need Red Robin's whiskey barbecue sauce to dress that up.
You know,
who else has good barbecue sauce? Come on now, put it on the table. There's a few places.
Oh, I think Back 40 has a really good barbecue sauce.
Who?
Back 40?
Kinders.
Oh,
My dad said Kinders. And Back 40?
Yeah.
My boy Robert Hernandez of Offset and Oak, he makes a great barbecue sauce. I mean,
say that again,
ribs are
Omega. My crouton was crunching. I couldn't hear you. What was say it again?
Oh, I heard every bit of that crunch. Just wait. My boy Robert Hernandez of Offset and Oak. He does his own private catering. Amazing barbecue sauce. Amazing barbecue. Period. I mean, this man is truly gifted. But his barbecue sauce and his ribs, his tri-tip, is everything amazing.
One down.
Hey.
Next up, soup.
That's impressive.
You've seen nothing.
If I could make eating my job, I would in a heartbeat. Sign me up now.
So
that's awesome.
What when we think back, because you know this being the year anniversary, when we think back to a year ago, you know, how are each of you getting through, you know, the craziness that ensued? Obviously, outside of doing this podcast, you know. what were you doing? You know, what kind of like pushed you through it, got you there? You know, because there's been a lot of things for different moments that I know happen. Might not, you know, it doesn't need to be the entire pandemic or quarantine, but like, you know, what kept you whole?
Um, I guess streaming. When I started streaming, I initially started doing that because I felt like I wasn't hitting my quota for creating videos, because I had this whole schedule for me in 2019. I was like, okay, on this month, this is my topic, and I'm gonna sing these number of songs, and I'm gonna post it every week, and it's gonna be like this. And January 1, for like the first week and a half, I was sick. I didn't have a voice, and so I had planned to do these videos because I was on vacation in the Philippines, so I was planning all this stuff when I get back. I was sick when I got back, and I couldn't like sing. Like, it was impossible for me, and so that put me into the spiral of like depression, because I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and my schedule was getting pushed back and pushed back more. And I was like, I have to at least do a vlog or something. And then I don't know how many times I recorded a vlog, maybe 5, on several occasions, and I never posted it. Like, I put it in, I would look at it, I'm like, I don't like this, and I would never touch it. Streaming, I did it at first as like a, well, whatever kind of thing. And then eventually it became like, hey, I'm at least putting out content. I just have to turn on the camera. It's live. I don't have to worry about editing. And it became like this sort of me convincing myself that it was okay, but at the same time I felt like it was like a cop out. And in the process of doing it, it turned into a community, and all of these people that I didn't expect to meet and make friends with, and then they started to know each other, and it became bigger and bigger. And it wasn't until it was already big that I realized, I was like, oh, and they were starting to talk about like streaming as their daily thing. They want this to be their job. And I was like, shoot, I was just doing this to make myself feel better. And inadvertently also make, you know, other people who felt the same way feel better. And then pandemic hit, and everyone was inside, and everyone had this feeling, and we were trying to get away from it all. And so now, just streaming has definitely been that like the communication that I needed, because I'm not a very good social person. I don't go out very much, but like talking to people is nice. But even like one-on-one, it's different than when you're talking to a camera and you see people chatting. For some reason, it feels different, and it's not as draining. It's actually it's like I feel like I'm entertaining. And so that has sort of translated into me finding the ability to start editing, start doing more things, all the things that I like sort of gave up on last year. I'm starting to do it more, started doing it more towards the end of this year, because the people I met were starting to inspire me, and then vice versa, and all of those things. And so it's been good. It's been really good. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's sometimes, you know, it can be hard, especially when stuff like that, like the pandemic kicks off, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to find community, to be able to, you know, support you in the times where you don't even know that like this is the moment for, you know, that like that mental health, you know, care that you're taking for yourself. You know, you're you know, you're giving yourself community, you're giving yourself support, you know, and to have that, to find that, it's, yeah, oh my gosh, I can imagine, you know, how clutch, you know, the community's been. I mean, don't get me wrong, all communities are, you know, they get stressful from time to time, but like, you know, I feel like that's just part of family.
Very, very true.
That's pretty neat how you set yourself up too, and you didn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very lucky.
I'll be lucky if I
think it's
cut
pretty
this
awesome.
watermelon without cutting my finger off. Ooh.
Your facial expression when you actually got through it was everything.
And I have to take this.
I had to break into my Black is Beautiful stout, you know.
What is that?
So Black is Beautiful. So during the height of the protests during 2020, summer 2020, they came out. There was a brewery that came out to support justice and equality for people of color, and it was out of what is it, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and the brewery is called Weathered Soul Brewing, or Weathered Souls Brewing. But yeah, they created this stout called Black is Beautiful and partnered with a bunch of different breweries across the country, and I think internationally as well, but I think more so within the country, and you know, they started selling them, and they sold specialty versions. I have the March on Selma one. I have not opened or drank it all. I have a bottled one. I have this one. This one is just a regular stout. I had a pecan pie one that I think I drank for our I think it was probably our Christmas special, or a live we had done. But you know, we did that, or New Year's. That's what it was. Our New Year's special. So yeah, you know, I had consumed that one during then, you know, just, you know, break these out during special moments. But when it first came out, I went to a brewery not too far away. I was like, I'm not playing around. Give me a gigantic jug full. And they gave me 2. And I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I want. And I remember going back a couple months later, like, hey, do you guys still have that? They're like, oh, we ran out. I was like, no. And then they never had it again. I was like, so sad.
So for the listeners and viewers, where could we find that?
So if you go online, you can go and check out blackisbeautiful.beer, and you can go there and look up different locations that they have maybe near you. Type in your zip code. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, they should have a few listings and things like that you can choose from. You just kind of look around in your area, call them up, ask them if they have it, and then head on down and pick it up. Yeah, it's delicious.
Black-owned brewery.
Yep, black-owned brewery.
That's a funky word, brewery. Can you say it 5 times fast?
Black-owned brewery, black-owned brewery, black-owned brewery, black-owned brewery, black-owned brewery, black-owned brewery, brewery.
My lips.
So Q, what about you? What has been your haven, you know, this pandemic, you know, like for the past year? You know, like what got you through this past year?
Exactly 1 year ago, I was still, I don't want to say stranded, well, I guess kind of, I was stranded, but couch surfed up in California. For those that don't know, I had come fresh from China. I left China February 17th. January something to something. January, about a month before that, 4 weeks before that is when the news of coronavirus had broken out, and I was in China. I fled a month later, and then I actually went to Argentina, escaped. And my whole mentality was vacation before they shut everything down, because I saw it coming. I mean, I came from the source, so I knew it was coming, while the rest of the world was like, "Oh, we'll be fine." I was like, "No, it's not. It's not gonna be okay. I'm gonna go to a continent where it hasn't infected them yet." And lo and behold, that continent was South America. So I went there, spent about 5 weeks there, and then came into San Francisco, where that ship was lost. I shouldn't laugh because that's not funny, but that ship was held at bay. Then I couch surfed until around this time. Up until this time, I had gotten in touch with some partners of mine who had started a nonprofit organization to help at-risk youth. So while everyone was in a panic and trying to figure their life out and what to do, I had something to do that was meaningful. And much like yourself, Zora, how you found something to do, and how you two fellas found this podcast. This nonprofit agency had already had me in mind to be their creative director, but now I'm here. And the only reason why I couldn't commit before is because I wasn't here. So now I'm stuck here. So now I'm forced to be part of the team, and it was a beautiful thing. So ended up working with youth. We started putting together virtual concerts. That's when virtual dance classes were on the rise. So I started taking virtual dance classes just to keep myself physical and active. I was still working out. I dove deeper into my Spanish studies. So I had already downloaded Duolingo, but now I was in it like full on. On top of that, I hit up two of my Spanish speaking friends and had set up private lessons with them. And made sure they were scheduled. So I made sure my day had stuff. Maybe that's the Capricorn in me. Like, I can be laxed and chill, but then I was like, okay, I need a regimen. I need something. Otherwise, I'm just literally soaking up towels. And that's draining. So after I got involved with all of those things, you got that? After I got involved with all of those things, before I knew it, it was nighttime, and the family that I was staying with, around this time I was staying with a family it was my friend, and she's a mother of 6, but her last 3 kids who were in the house were teenagers. So I gained the responsibility of cooking at night for the family and helping to clean up, and then going on walks with her, with the dog. And so I had this regimen, and then the night was over, and then I started all over again. My insomnia was pretty bad, but it was okay because I didn't have to wake up to go anywhere because I couldn't. So now in the last year, since then, around this time is when my dad hit me up. Dang it, actually, it was probably exactly 360 days ago. My dad hit me up and said, hey, we're moving the family down to Vegas. Could you help drive one of the cars and help us caravan? Well, it wasn't exactly an invite to move here. It was just to help drive the car. And then as I got in the car, I said, oh, does this mean I'm moving to Vegas? I mean, because this is my family. I'm not gonna leave my family and go back to couch surfing. So that moved me to Vegas, and from there, between writing music, taking classes, the nonprofit, and exercise, bike riding, I kept myself pretty busy. There were some lows. There's a lot of lows, especially with all of the protests and the racial wars and the ending of that legendary presidency term. There was just a lot happening up here and throughout me, and I kept busy by staying active.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's another yeah. Yeah, that it goes again to that like importance of mental health. Like the just keep yourself moving, keep yourself going. I mean, just from the two of you talking so far, it's funny because you both have said some version of it, but like you just couldn't have idle hands as creatives. It's something I've repeated over and over again, to a lot of different people that I've kind of talked about. They're like, oh, what have you done? It's like, hey, on to the next one. Um, like
Couldn't keep still. You can't just
yeah, no, you
not do
can't sit
anything.
still. Like I need to do something. I can't just sit here. There's so many ideas that are like flowing through my mind that need to get out on paper or on, on screen or whatever.
Mhm.
So finding ways to fill those moments, especially to improve yourself.
Mhm.
Whew, I feel like we're kind of like primed as creatives. We're primed for that because we feel that itch if we're sitting still. We're like, okay, something, like if I'm sitting here, I might as well, hone the skill that I have. I'm going to draw, or I'm going to write, or I'm going to work out, or I'm going to, like I'm going to get myself active or involved, or I'm going to start this stream and really like dive into this community and like really grow these things. Like
At one point, I even just threw on a pair of roller skates and was roller skating at 1 a.m. In the neighborhood in the dark because I had been so lazy all day.
Mm-hmm.
And now I was like, okay, that can't be. It's one thing if it's like one day and then 2 days and then on the third day I'm just like, so I literally just threw on skates and just started rolling around and singing to the top of my lungs in the neighborhood, waking up people, I'm sure. But in my mind, I said, well, they can't be mad at me. They don't have work in the morning.
Shut up!
You can't be mad. You don't got work.
The hell is that singing outside? It sounds good, but shut up! Gotta wake up and cook breakfast in the morning.
I feel that.
Turn.
I feel that. That's
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was this time last year. I was feeling it. And I say I was feeling it because, as you guys all know, I'm an extremely active person. And all I do is work. So it was kind of crazy to be forced to sit down. Like that was the hardest thing for me, was to be forced to sit down. It was the hardest thing, but it was a necessary thing. Because I'm not used to having a break. Even when I take vacations, technically, I mean, especially when you have a family, you take a vacation, it's really not a vacation because it's more work you got to do. Right. So it really forced me to sit down and reevaluate my thought process and what I'm doing with my life. And really the biggest thing that happened was it made me learn the value of me. My time, my profession, my energy, my focus, my everything. And I realized that I really needed to focus on me so I can do better for the we. And that's when I really was able to work on school. But I also started working out. I found a drive within myself that I didn't know I had, that I forgot that I had. So like I was trying to do the 75 hard. So I was doing 2 workouts a day, one inside, one outside, 45 minutes each. So I was on the bicycle, I was on the Peloton riding. And I would go outside and do a workout, or I'll go to the gym, or go to the park. I would go lift with my younger brother because I hated lifting weights until he showed me something new. Like it showed me something new about myself. I found a new drive within me, and I was reading and just really learning that, you know what, if I'm going to speak about it, I got to be about it again. And I felt that change, that shift. And I started to learn a lot about myself. And then I realized I can be depressed too, and I didn't realize that. I never thought I'd ever been depressed, or I could be, until I realized I am depressed. So there was a lot that was happening mentally, emotionally during that time. And I'm saying that because like you mentioned before, Q, about the protests and everything, like there was so much that I started to internalize Till one day I actually broke. I scared all my siblings. I was calling to make sure they're okay, and I literally just started bawling, crying. Like it just like broke me. And I've never been that person. Even my wife was like, "You don't cry. What is this?"
Mm.
But what really was happening was I was going through that. My soul was going through that. That laundromat was going through its wash. After I had that really hard cry, I pulled myself back together and started to figure out what am I going to do with myself and who am I going to be. I mean, and look, this podcast, my education, my relationships, my drive for my new business, me working with Bellator, like there's just so many good things that I feel almost feel bad because I'm so positive. I've always been a positive person, I feel, but I almost feel bad because I'm pushing more positivity out there and people want to be upset and gloomy and down. People want to be like, oh, how can you be happy about this pandemic? So many people died. I'm like, but there's been so many people that died even before a pandemic. Why is it just that you have to sit down, you have to actually pay attention? We have always had loss of life, but it's what you do with that life that truly matters. I can either be down and out or I can be positive about it and find the silver lining and live every day. Because they say you only live once. No, you only truly die once because you can't almost die and then come back. You only die once. So you have every day to live. And that's what I've chosen to do is to live. So like life has been beautiful, man. What have I done? I've worked on my mind, worked on my spirit, worked on my family, worked on my relationships. And through it all, this podcast has really been like the nucleus of it. It has showed me a new me and showed me new sides of my friends who are my family. You know, I mean, just last week, actually, Stephanie messaged me and she was like, "Thank you so much for having us on the podcast." And I was like, "Oh, of course." She's like, "Because now I have more new friends, my now new sisters." And I'm like, "What's up?" And then I get a message the other day. They started a new thing for the gay gaming community or gay gaming podcast, something like that. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. But they had these three lovely souls, and you were there. Like Zorian was a part of this, and I was like, "This is so freaking dope!" Like, and this is because they met on our podcast or with the UBP, you know, or meeting Kelly or meeting so many different people. It's like we're all going through the same thing, but we've all found a way to choose life, and it's been amazing.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Sorry for
mean,
talking so much.
no. And again, like and just to add on top of that, you also conquered that education. Just to throw that on top of there. I mean, we are celebrating your graduation. You get to go on to San Jose State. Hey, to see you go through like those moments. I mean, even when we were on tour before the pandemic, you were always buckling down. You were always like in doing your work, writing your essays, doing your assignments while we're on tour, while we're performing. In the midst of us being like, hey, let's go down to the bar and grab like a bite to eat and like a drink, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm still writing, but can you help me with this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. Like to see all that hard work and everything, pay off and it not just fall by the wayside during this time. You actually got through it. It was something that you've completed in the midst of one of the rings of hell that we've gone through.
Right? No, real.
Really
You know,
inspirational.
it is very inspirational. I remember thinking a year ago, in general, so not just for myself, because I felt myself on a productive start and path and routine. But I remember thinking, when this period is over, there's going to be a big question. And if it doesn't come from the universe or from within, I'm definitely going to ask. So during that time when the whole world was at a standstill, and all the many hundreds of times in your life you had the excuse, and I quote, "I don't have time." You know where I'm going with this.
I knew.
All the many hundreds of times, maybe close to 1,000 times that you said, "Oh, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time. I wish I had more time. I wish there were more hours in a day." What did you do when God finally made the world stop? What did you do with your time then? How productive were you? How did you grow, or how did you change? How were you edified? What happened to you and with you during that moment, at that time? Because this is history. And if you come out of that the same person that went in to 2020, okay, I can't, I don't have a follow-up, because it's not for me to judge, but that's just for you to hold on to and to chew on. And for the listeners out there that are either watching or listening, what did you do? What are you doing? What have you done? What have you changed? Who's changed you? How have you grown? Where are you now? Where are you going?
Absolutely. I mean, and it's not to say like you have to be doing 100 things. Like
Uh-uh.
even if you took up one thing, it doesn't even have to be super big. Like you said, learning Spanish. Hopping on Duolingo. Like, did you attempt to learn a new language? Did you attempt to expand your mind, expand your soul, expand your body? I mean, outside of eating, but like, because all of us did that. All of us did that. So no shame.
We expanded our bodies, all right.
As we're doing a mukbang.
Right.
Right.
No, but real talk, even like you said, even reading a book, you didn't have to, oh, I started this new online business. No, it could have been, I finally finished that book, or I finally was able to sit down with my kids and actually spend time with them and actually enjoy this movie with them from beginning to end, actually help them with their studies, actually listen to what my child blah, 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 or dot, 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 spend time with my family member. I actually enjoyed being back in the country and seeing my family more than just a phone call. And, whether we visited them or we spent time virtually, for me, it was a blessing to be near my family. And then I did lose my grandmother, but it was something I knew was coming, but I didn't want to be away for. That was my fear, was being on stage, and then on my break I find out, and then I have to go back on stage and then put on a face, so it was a beautiful transition for me, and I'll just leave it at that. I mean, to take over, but yeah, I hope that many others did something that's worth noting and are doing something, even in this square that we have right now. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all that you share, and even if I had done nothing from this conversation, I'd be like, hold on a minute, let me get up and, because we mentioned everything from going to school, to starting a stream, to starting a podcast, to working out, to throwing on some roller skates, to eating better, getting out and hiking, spending time with the family, connecting. Omega, I wanted to ask you before we get to Z, when you said you spent time connecting more with your family, I mean, and what specifically, what did you do that made the connection stronger?
So what we did was, with my cousins and my siblings, we would do a house party and we would be on house parties. So we would have drinks and we would be on house party and we would talk, we would play games, and we would just connect again. Because something that we all realized was we all grew up together, but then we grew apart from each other. So we didn't even know each other anymore. And then the older generation to really remember the younger generation and so on and so forth. So therefore we all got on there. And we had some great, great laughs and great times. I mean, it lasted maybe a month, like 4 weeks. And we met up once a week. And then we tried to do it again of like a month or two later. But just the fact that we were able to do that and have that mind was beautiful. So I got to have that connection with my siblings and my cousins again. Spending more time with my wife and really talking and going through those ups and downs, those ebbs and flows of any marriage or whatever, has been great, because where there's been a higher divorce rate due to the pandemic and everybody spending more time, it brought us closer together. It forced us to talk and have those hard conversations and really be there. Talking with my kid more, and really like having a better relationship and growing more with her. Like there's been so many things, me being very honest with my mother. And even when that was the hard, very, very difficult conversation where it kind of separated us a bit, it was something that needed to happen with my mother, with my brother. There's just so many areas. It's just been amazing. And really, really understanding that I do matter. My feelings do matter. I matter, because I have this thing where I put you, and I say you as in people, before me. Generally, that's just who I am. But coming to learn that I matter too. I have to think about me. I have to do for me too. I learned Z's been the one that's really been pushing that and talking to me through that and coaching me on that. Like, you matter, bro. You do matter. You got to remember that. So that's been something that's been really good, and that's helped me to have a better connection with my siblings and my family. And remembering that sometimes I have to say no and stand up for myself for the betterment, so I can still love and want to be around my family.
Amen.
So true. So true.
I see you applauding over there, Z. Look at me like I'm the host. So, Z.
Actually, I love it. It gives him a break because he works hard.
It's actually real quick, and this happened last night. And that's what it takes. It takes like your close friends to just put a mirror up. And let me share what my friend did just last night. I haven't seen him in close to 8 years or something like that, right? And he was in town here in Vegas doing it with part of a convention. So we see each other, we're hanging out, and then we said, hey, let's go get something to eat. So we go to the restaurant. It was part of the we're ordering process, and he wasn't ready, but they are, and the waitress is here. So I automatically went into, okay, how about we do this? We'll go ahead and order here. You go ahead and take your time. We're going to buy you time. And then, and my friend, my buddy goes, you can't choreograph everything. He's like, you are always a teacher. You're just choreographing life.
All right, ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and move.
I'm going to relieve you, and I'm going to go ahead and let you take this time right now. And in the meantime, if you don't mind bringing me some hot water and some honey and lemon, thank you. That should give him just enough time to look over the menu, and we'll have our order in just a few moments. Serious. And of course, I mean well, and my intentions, but he looks and he goes, bro, you can't choreograph everything in life. Like, it's like, oh, oops.
But you sure will try.
For harmony's sake. But really though, Z, so you have dynamics galore, being entertainer, creator, family man, of two, and also living in a house with what, 3 generations, right? Three
Yeah.
or four? Three or four?
1, 2, 3. 3.
Three generations.
3 generations.
And those dynamics, and then dealing with your own personal stuff and needing to find your own personal space. How does, see, I'm not a father. So when I have my nieces and nephews, like, I know I can just, all right, and then go check out. So how do you, how do you, and how did you do that? Like, I'm just thinking about that, like, right now, because Zora, you don't have any children, right? I see you trying to hide your mouth. She down here trying to.
We all eating on camera. She's like,
She's like, you ain't about to catch a screenshot of.
Like, that's the part we're supposed to see. We're supposed to see that. We're supposed to hear all that goodness.
I'm done with pizza. I'm almost done with this plate of food. Like, I'm down to this little corner over here.
I just have this piece left.
I've eaten everything. Oh, I'm good.
But to answer your question, Q, I mean, for me, I guess to kind of go in order, like a year ago, I also, right before the pandemic, like, you know, like you, always traveling, going, you know, like all different places. You know, the pandemic definitely gave me a chance to sit back and be able to spend time. You know, like a year ago, I remember I was just sitting. And special entry right now, Eddie about to hop on. But hey,
I think I
a
was
year
with you
ago,
exactly a year ago today, because I was just about to move to Vegas, and then I came to visit you.
yeah, well, I think, well, maybe not a year ago today, but like I know it was in March, because like it was right around the time the pandemic. Yeah, right around the time the pandemic was kicking off and like everything got closed down. Eddie,
what's poppin'?
Hey,
how's it going, everybody? How y'all doing?
What's up, Eddie Mo?
What's
Bro,
up? What's up?
I swear I'm sitting here dying laughing. I thought that was you sitting on the couch just being cool. I didn't realize it was a picture.
No,
yeah. Rolling.
I mean, I am like that a majority of the time, but nah, that's just my screensaver. All right, so my bad, y'all. I'm late because yesterday was my anniversary, 9-year anniversary. And thank you. We still kind of celebrating today, but I just wanted to take some time and drop in and say what's up to everybody, because I know it's a special day. You know, it's the 1-year anniversary of the H.A.D podcast. So I just want to show some love. You know, I love y'all. I miss y'all. I got my drink ready so I can have it, and then I can get back to rubbing my wife's pregnant feet. Yes. All right, y'all.
Hey, cheers.
We love you. Cheers.
Love you, boys.
Love you too, man. Give our love to the family.
I will do.
Tell her happy birthday too.
Oh yeah, I'll tell her.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary, brother.
All right, thank you.
All right, much love, fam. Peace. That was so special.
That was so special. Yeah. One of the original cast members hopping on. But yeah, like I know how, you know, you had popped in like right around the beginning, like of right when it started, like everything started shutting down, you know, as far as like, you know, the entertainment aspect of things, you know, those sorts of things started shutting down worldwide, and one after another things became more and more locked down. But yeah, I remember that you and I had started popping off making videos and stuff, but plug if you want to check out a video that Q and I made at the beginning of the pandemic. You know, we was jamming. Check us out on the Instagram or TikTok as well. But toe jam and all, peanut butter and all of that. But the beginning, I mean, I remember there was like this slow, well, I felt like decline in myself, because yeah, I went from like moving to not, then I was used to when I was home that I was just like, I was still. I was as still as possible. I hung out with the kids, what have you. But like, I was usually either sleeping or I was still, and I was like resting my body up for the next exertion of intense energy and like creative, performance. But like, uh, I, I just remember being stationary, and as we started like meeting for the podcast and whatnot, like I I think I introduced the concept of the podcast to and then we introduced it to the crew right around the beginning. But it was still like that idea. So I was like, okay, well then let's figure out how to record this. And we would record, but we would meet. And um
I remember that first picture.
yeah.
I remember you sent it to me. Omega was on a couch or something, and some
Yep.
some big spacious room, and it was just an idea. And then
Yeah. It was just that
wow.
idea, and then it just kept growing. And it's funny because around a year ago today, I was there was this shift because as we were talking about, like there was nothing, and then I had this shift inside myself. It was like, no, this is what we're gonna get done. If they all said yes, I'm in this group of gentlemen where I feel like they could respectfully hold me accountable, and I can hold myself accountable, and I've got this support. Let's do this. And like I just went in. I remember going ham and like creating the podcast, creating all the things for the podcast, the logo, that splash of drink, the social media accounts, from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook, learning Patreon, learning the hosting sites that this had to go up on, figuring out the whole process, trying to finally make a trailer for it, all these things to launch it and let it get out into the world and be a part of everything. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without that, like without the rest of the crew, like it's weird. Even though I'm doing all the editing, I'm doing all that stuff, I'm posting all that shit, like everybody's just showing up to have the conversation. But like it was just this idea that I had to hold myself accountable, and I felt like others, like I would post that like, oh, I'm editing this episode, just so that I had that like in my mind to give me that motivation. I mean, I still didn't get off my ass, even though I was still doing those things, because not long after, George Floyd, a couple other of our young, yeah, brothers and sisters getting murdered left and right. Just the weight of it all, getting heavier and heavier. And I just remember that feeling low, sinking low. And then the idea, the importance, the continued conversation, the continued, all of that. I got to come out on the other side, because we got to talk through a lot of like the mental um strains that we were going through surrounding other things, and so it kind of gave way for relieving a lot of the weight. And it allowed me to turn around and be like, hey, okay, I can section this time out. Now that I'm really starting to focus, I'm able to put time for my kids. I'm able to go out and we go swimming for like hours, because I don't have to worry about the dye seeping out of my hair. I don't have to worry about being on stage next week, and I don't give a fuck. Like, we can play shark. Daddy will be the shark all you want, like I'll toss you around the pool all you need me to, like whatever it is. And like being able to like find those ways, especially because a lot of things, shifted for them, being young people, tiny humans in this world, trying to learn social etiquette, trying to be educated, learn your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s, and how to add and subtract and spell. You're trying to learn all of these things, and then boom, you're shoved into this whole new process of living, making forts and like living room forts, gigantic living room forts, so that we can have a movie night and figuring out different projects and things that we can do, we've built like a couple of robots over the course of the pandemic together. I know I got one of those V8 engines from Discovery Channel, so that we can build one of those. That's gonna be super fun. I can't wait to do that. Just really finding ways to just engage with them so that I can, when the time comes. I mean, in the beginning, I was taking up space in the bedroom. We had Ill Will here, and I had the green screen all set up on one side of the bed, just taking up the whole bedroom for this podcast, just to be a part of it, and like, so everybody would get shut out of the room until we were done recording. And then, I pushed forward and decided to like upgrade the things that I had, got whole new microphone setup, have this green screen set up in a different place. I've got foam padding, soundproofing, echo reducing, like all these things that are necessary, and I put it all in my closet. Like
Your characters that you were building.
create yeah,
Yeah,
building,
that's
doing projects, doing shows, like like I'm creating. I got a chance to be a part of like so many different things, from Justice for Hire, where I'm a superhero. I just put out shameless plug. I just put out a video for hashtag Wash the Hate campaign, where we are addressing hate towards Asian American Pacific Islander violence, all of that's been growing, the racial tension and whatnot. And so showing how our heroes respond to hate or those kinds of situations. And so if you want to go check that out, go check it out on my Instagram, Z for every occasion. But doing those things, making characters, making stories, diving into voice acting. Like, I mean, I had been in voice acting. I say that in quotations because, prior to the pandemic, I hadn't had any voice acting gigs, really. I was just auditioning and joining competitions and honing my craft, honing what I had. The pandemic gave me a place to set up in a way that elevated my voiceover game, where I now have a professional microphone. I now have the professional editing software that I needed. I now have access to all these different things that I can use to elevate those sorts of things that I've been working on. The kind of things that kind of got me through that were not only all of that and the tiny ones, but like, yeah, finding different ways to improve myself. Like I've I've always told people when they meet me, I mean, I've lived about 25 lifetimes already. Like I can wholeheartedly say that, because all the things that I've done, especially in this body, has been like 25 lifetimes worth of experiences that people are just like, wait, really? I'm like, yeah, no, I swear this happened. They're like, wow. Like, yeah. So like during this pandemic, I've gone through a whole like metamorphosis after metamorphosis after metamorphosis, when it comes to like personal growth. I've been at the lowest of my lows, I've been at the highest of my highs, and it didn't just happen once or twice. It's happened like a handful of times. So just kind of like understanding the cycle of impermanence with self, understanding that, going down my spiritual journey, like I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like hit a spiritual journey until January, maybe December of December of 2020, January of 2021, this year, beginning of this year. Like, I didn't really dive into like my spirituality as hardcore as I did until then. And like, it was just this like this massive shift that I can feel, and I was like, all right, this is what I need right now. This is going to propel me. I'm going to learn things that I didn't learn before, or I mean, I'm going to relearn things that like I didn't pay attention to before, that I probably need to now. That's going to help me through this.
we're still in it.
Right,
We're
and
still
that's
in
the
it.
thing.
We're not past anything. We're still in it. And I want to thank, you guys for bringing us all together, really, because it shows that even through all of our setbacks, to stay connected, to stay, to recognize, and I'm going to repeat what Omega said earlier, that we do individually matter. There are moments in our lives where we probably feel like, well, especially during this time, everybody you're self-consumed. You're like, oh shoot, if you weren't self-consumed before, now it's more, I shouldn't say self-consumed, we went into self-preservation. And the fear that, oh shoot, now that I'm in self-preservation, wait, everyone's in self-preservation. Wait, is anyone checking on me? Have I checked on anyone? Do I even matter? And, to anyone? And building even virtual connections and reaching out or assembling teams or reasons to get together. Even for Omega, whether it was study groups or going to school, like those things, all those little things help. So thank you guys, and thank you Z for sharing those intimacies, because anyone listening comes from so many different walks of life. I'm sure, I hope and pray that there's something that we have shared or said that could inspire the next.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'm a slurp to that.
I'm gonna try out this.
Another thing, just to add on to what you were saying, is I remember seeing a lot of people talking about, if you haven't started your own business, you wasted your time. If you haven't done this and that, I'm like, I understand your thought process and what you're trying to accomplish by saying those things, but that's so aggressive, because not everybody's meant to do those things, right?
Right.
And that right there even puts people in that negative headspace, because they're like, well, maybe I didn't do anything. Maybe I really did waste my time, And
maybe I'm not talented enough. Maybe I don't have anything to offer.
Yeah.
Right. You're trying to
in that sort of like space. I feel like rather than comparing yourself and then listening to the advice of maybe someone who has a different sort of, where they're at a different place than you are, be a better you than you were yesterday is like the bottom line. Where were you at the beginning versus like, it could even be like small things, because I've talked to people throughout the pandemic where they would beat themselves up over not being able to get out of bed. I'm like, then try again tomorrow. You can do it. And that's progress. That's a small step. And even if it's just that, it's a better you than you were yesterday. You don't need to compare yourself to the people who are going out and doing all of these things. You just need to be you.
And that right there was very, very, very accurate. Mm-hmm. And that actually leads me to my next thing of saying, my hashtag that I came up with during this whole thing was better me, better you.
Better me, better you.
Yeah, better me, better you. Focus on me, and you focus on you. Mm-hmm. That's just really what it is. And it's like, no matter what it is, and my PE class from not me teaching, but taking in my college class, they were talking about something called SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely. Setting goals in that manner. And I was like, that makes sense. And it could be the smallest thing possible. But if we could set a SMART goal for anything, it could just be, like you said, getting out of bed. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to brush my teeth and take a shower. That little bit alone is a victory. And that's the thing that needed to happen more. We need to work on more as a community, is working on those little things, because just the fact of waking up and getting out of bed, we all take that for granted. Because there's quite a few people who did not, or could not, or chose not to. So I mean, Q, you said it. Zora, you said it. Z, you said it, and I'm gonna say it too. It's like we all had to work on this in our own ways, shape, or form. We all had to start over and find a way. And I think it's absolutely beautiful.
And I'm going to add that because of what Zora said, it may not, it is possible that it may not have happened for you yet. So in the case of Z, like you say, oh, I just started in January. That's okay. There's no time. Some people may not have found that it factor yet, or that get up factor, or that motivation factor. Maybe it's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's coming next week. But it's coming, and you want to be prepared for it. And the way to be prepared for it is to have yourself in a healthy mental space so that you know what to do with it when you receive it. That's just it. I have beautiful things blossoming now in my life because of how I shook myself awake from my mental space months ago. Now, had these things been presented to me while I was there and in the dumps, and I would have had excuses as to why I can't do them, as you know, why I don't want to get up to get out to do this and that. So, I truly hope it's encouraging, because I have to acknowledge that as wonderful of a place that the four of us are in, there are still those that are like, ugh, well, that's you.
Right.
you know, and I'm not there yet. And no, I don't have this. What do I have to offer? What do I have to give? And, you know, some people are still there. It's not this, you know, Disneyland fairy tale of an ending for everyone. And right. Hey, these are waves, and waves crash, they rise, they fall, they come in. And so I'm prepared a little bit more emotionally for the next fall, whatever it may be. And I'm going in knuckles in, not hands up to surrender. And that you know, that's right. All mental. That's all mental.
That was really deep what you said about not being there yet. You know, that's something that not a lot of people think about. I'm just not there yet.
And when you get there, you might not always stay there. You might relapse back into that, like, no, I don't want to do any of that anymore, or like, it's too hard to do that right at this moment, like, or it's overwhelming. You know, all of these things can happen, and all of those things are okay. You know, it's all a part of that, like, process. I know, because, like, just a little thing of, like, in my spiritual journey, I hit this wall, you know, where, you know, I felt like I couldn't focus because this stressor from long ago is coming back into my life. And I'm like, oh crap, I have to worry about that now. I have to worry about that again. So now I need to take a break. And I'm thinking that me taking a break from it is me failing it, is me going backwards, when in actuality, it's me putting on pause so that I can handle this thing, so that I can come back to, you know, my journey, my focus strong, you know, unwavered. But, you know, again, it's a process.
Amen. It's a process. And part of that process should include surrounding yourself with the type of people that will support you and encourage you, and who will uplift you. When people, I know, even when we would just check in with each other, like, so what are you up to? Oh, I'm doing this and that. Oh, me, I'm not quite so much, but it's actually good to celebrate, not compare. And Zor said this earlier, not compare, like, oh, you know, well, you're doing that. A lot of people, they immediately go within. Oh, well, not me. Da, 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 da. Last night I was, my friend asked me to sing a song for his buddy who I'd never met before. He said to sing, you know, he can sing and blah, blah, blah. So I sang, and then I'm using this as an example because people do this a lot. So anyone out there listening, catch yourself and correct it. All right. Because it can be a very selfish, annoying. Those are my labels for it. Kind of trait. So I sang something, and then my friend said, "Wow, isn't he good? Wow, that's pretty good." And he goes, "Yeah." The guy listening on the receiving end goes, "Yeah, now I'm just trying to think, like, what do I want to sing for you?" Like, and he went like inward. And you see where I'm going with this? And it was like, "Oh, you missed the gift. You missed it.
You missed the gift. Wow. Get out of your own way because you just missed the gift."
That little moment right there told me what type of personality he has in general. Didn't hurt my feelings. I didn't need, oh my gosh, I need praise. But it told me, oh, so it's difficult for you to receive because you are in your own way and you're in your own head. So the whole time he's, okay, he did 3 notes, and I wonder if I can do 3 notes like that. Like last time I sang the song, I didn't sing it like that. And like he was in a whole nother space, not receiving it. So you have to wonder and question how much of ourself is in the way of our own growth and progress. And we don't even realize it because we use rhetoric or verbiage or mental, you see where I'm going with this? Mental clogs, bad habits daily at a rhythm that we don't even see that we're the ones that are creating the plaque in our lives. So if you're out there and you still feel like, I'm still look within. And then when you do surround yourself with others, I'm going to bring this back full circle, full square, celebrate with them. Celebrate with them. Don't go inward yourself, oh, well, shoot, I'm not doing that. And they're just bragging or me. No, celebrate with them. That's a start to you receiving good energy, good vibes, and good direction from the universe. You can't receive if you're always here.
100%. If you close
100%.
yourself off, you're not going to be receptive of anything.
Yeah, sometimes you get those backhanded compliments where you think like they, instead of celebrating with you, they sort of turn it, inward, where they just go, oh, that's great for you, but I'm never gonna get there. It's like, what am I supposed to say to that?
Yeah, I'm what do you say?
Thank you, but and then I have to be the one to be like, but no, you can do it, and then it just feels fake,
It feels weird.
Yeah. But then
I used
you
to
have
be able to sing that high, but I can't sing that high anymore. I started smoking, blah, blah, blah. Like that's what the conversation did. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, well, hot water and
And I'm sorry that I can still do that.
See, and that's again, people just not knowing how to get out of their own way or recognizing that they're getting in their own way. And we're also, a lot of times, a lot of people are afraid to celebrate others, fear of themselves not feeling worthy. So it's like, I don't want to give you your flowers. I don't want to make you feel like you're amazing all the time because I don't want your head to get big and then I feel like a less than. It's like, no, man, it's just let them do them. Like for you, like honestly, Kieu, I absolutely love it when you sing. And that's why the last time I saw you, what song did I have playing for you? You probably don't even remember.
That's right, Eric Benet. Just shut up.
There you go. See, but I did that on purpose, right? Because I knew that would be the cue for you to start singing. I knew what I was doing, right? I wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I absolutely love seeing when Zora comes on and I can see the background and I'm just like, there's probably a lot of magic that happens in that room. and we only get just a small fragment of it. It's not about, well, I wish I could do that. No, it's not about me. It's about the we. It's celebrating you, Q, and your vocal ability and your entertainment. You, Zori, of your vocal ability and your talent. You, Z, of your vocal ability and your talent. You know, it's about that and supporting that. Everybody has something special. Get out of your own way and let it shine. It may not be the same, but you're just as great. You are necessary. You matter. People love you. We appreciate you. So let your own gifts come out. Everybody's gift is different. We all seen the Care Bears. Every single bear had a different gift.
Absolutely.
But when you put them all together, Care Bears care.
No.
Aww.
I think I have a Care Bear tummy right now.
Oh God.
I feel that too.
Me too.
I feel that too.
I guess that'd make me four. Me four.
I do have a question for everyone. So I guess what would, as I sip on my Pickle Rick seltzer, it's actually not that bad. So I'm curious, now that you've been through a situation, a whole experience like this, that not only is it a what should be a once in a lifetime experience, you know, but also that like you got to see all of that that's transpired, and now you have hindsight. What advice would you give to yourself for the future?
Hindsight 2020.
Yes.
Sorry.
As in, what would we tell our past self?
No,
Like,
what
if
would
you
you tell?
told-
What are you going to tell your future self now? Like now that you have hindsight and you have like you know that a situation like this can occur in your lifetime. You know that you could be thrust into sitting at home. Like what would you coach yourself through in the future? Like what would you tell your future self?
Nothing.
I feel like we would that would accumulate experience, and by that time you're just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes time erases how we actually felt in the moment. So maybe a message to yourself might help in the future, because you have people who have lived through the Spanish flu who've forgotten what that was like. You have people who experience like these big events, and then we still see articles where they're like, oh, it's a hoax, it never happened, 9/11 never happened. So it's you got to wonder what exactly will I hope I won't grow up, I won't get older and like forget things like that, but I think I'd just be kind to myself. If I'm not able to do something, don't put too much pressure on myself to be able to that when I couldn't do it. If I can't do it, don't just get stuck and be like and dwell on the fact that you couldn't do it, because the more you think about the fact that you couldn't do it, the days turn into weeks, which turn into months, and then you're sitting there thinking about the fact that you didn't do it 3 months ago, and you're just like, wait, but that was 3 months ago. What are you doing now?
Sis,
Sitting
same.
there thinking about the same thing you did 3 months ago. Think of everything fresh, everything new. If you can't do it, drop it, move on. That's like that for me. That's what I think I would tell myself, and to be kind to myself. If I've gotten into the habit of, if I do something wrong, what I think is I don't work up to the standard I've made for myself. I pamper myself. I'm like, it's okay. I'm not gonna give you a slap on the wrist. Let's get you into the tub. Let's give you a massage. Let's put on that facial. Make yourself feel good. It's okay. But yeah, that's probably what I would tell myself.
Hey man, be kind to yourself. Shit. That's the one thing we can do, is we can self-sabotage, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
Like a mug.
I was gonna do this to be funny, but then I realized that because I was gonna say it earlier, but then like everyone like, you know, sort of got all serious and stuff. But it was relevant. No, it was relevant. I'm not like downplaying what you said. Like I was gonna go because back to the question. You know, what would you tell your future self? Just dance. Seriously.
It'll be okay.
It'll be okay. Just dance. That's what happened for me. You know, just dance. Just remember. You know, it's not just physically dance, but when we walk into a room, we are not the DJ. You feel me? We're not the DJ in the discotheque, but we are good at adapting to whatever song comes on. The blessing with us, and so we can illustrate a lot more colorfully, it would be a beautiful challenge if the DJ decided to say, oh, I bet you they don't know this. Watch what they do to this. And then you put on polka. Oh, you can put on polka all you want to. If I'm feeling hyped and I knew I was going to dance tonight, and especially if I'm with y'all, I'm clowning out. You could put on river dance. You could put on the sound of dripping water. And we will find a way. And that adaptation is what I would remind my future self, that, fool, you've been through a lot and you're going to go through a lot more. So work through it, push through it, adapt, because you've proven that you can and are capable. So do it. Go. Let somebody tell you you can't. I'm kind of a goat that way, though. You tell me, oh, you can't make it up there. Oh, I can't. So when I hear can't, you're saying it's impossible. Okay. All right. Don't blink. You might miss something.
Yes.
But where does that come from? I mean, we're all built different ways and we all have different wiring. Not everyone's going to think like Q. Not everyone's going to think like Omegas or Z. So, but it does start with how you talk to yourself, Z. Right? Me saying it's going to be okay, just dance. You saying be kind to yourself. It's the same. You have to. You know, you beat yourself up, and then who's going to pick you up if everybody's down?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can lift you off of the floor if they on the floor with you.
Right. No. We don't need a pity party. Ooh, so watch this. Doing a delivery the other day. And this is all just in wording. This is why wording and verbiage is so powerful and so important. Lord forbid I wanted to, that had me at Planet Hollywood helping bring her things from my truck to her room in the hotel. Now, if you don't know anything about Planet Hollywood, you've heard of the mile-long mall, right? The Mile Mall. It's a mile all the way around. Yeah. All right. You know where I'm going with this? She says, meet me at the front of the hotel. She had 2 cases of water, a couple things of Gatorade, a whole bunch of snacks and all kinds of goodies. She said, oh, I'm bringing my backpack down. I said, okay. I'm looking at what's in the back of my truck and I'm like, your backpack. Okay. I don't know what that's going to do for 24 cases of water and a whole bunch of Gatorade and chips that could get crushed in your back. But okay. I said, okay. All right. So she comes down and then the backpack was one of those cute little cosmetic bags that y'all women be putting on your backs trying to look cute. And I looked at her, I said, okay, like what if she had somebody who was out of shape? Like, okay, so I took the waters and I placed them on my shoulders and was walking like this. Now we're going up an escalator, up another escalator through the Mile Mall before we get through the casino to go the wrong direction because it was the south elevator, not the north one, which we started going through. Did I mention that it's the Mile Mall?
Oh no.
So, okay, let's fast forward because we could talk about We could talk about why I had this Asian lady stepping on my back yesterday for 90 minutes. But that's not the point of the story. We get in the elevator and there's people on the elevator. So it's not like we could just be alone. I'm in the elevator and I know I have this virtual background on, but I'm literally like this. I'm holding and then the door closes and I go, oof, and I just planked against the doors of the elevator so I could take some of the weight off of my shoulder while I'm holding. Because what's the worst thing you could do? Put it down, then have to put it back up. Like that wasn't going to happen. That was not an option. So while I'm there, there's like 4 or 5 people in the elevator. And one of the guys says, oh man, that really sucks. You know, you come all the way out here to Vegas, you know, to vacation, they got you carrying all this stuff. I said, I live here. Or more like, I live here, like disgruntled, my hand down on the door. And then this is the kicker. I hear, maybe it was him, maybe it was someone else. He says, oh man, I feel sorry for you. That's when I woke up. I said, no. Well, not with my hand because I had to hold water. But I said, no, don't feel sorry for me. And this is all with my head into the door like this. I said, no. Don't feel sorry for me. If anything, I need you to uplift me. I need you to encourage me. I don't need 5 people behind me feeling sorry for me. If you really felt sorry for me, you take some of this weight off my shoulder. But I'm not going to ask you to do that because I chose to carry this weight, right? So that, if we could apply that to life, there's a lot of stuff we put on our own shoulders, but we can't sit around and hoping people pity us. What is that going to do? What is you feeling sorry for me going to do? No. What I need you to do is tell me it's going to be all right. Tell me I'm strong enough to make it to the 37th floor.
Man, this story keeps getting better and better. Better and better.
I need you to say, ooh, I hope this girl right here has cash to tip you out well. Say that.
That would have been helpful. You want to help me? Whisper about a good tip.
Right.
Cash tip.
You know, the brother in me should have just unleashed some of that. I'm getting of age to where stuff just comes out my mouth now, and but not in a like to tear people apart. But it's interesting. Excuse the trail off. But it's interesting that people want you to be 100. And the moment you're 95%, they're like, ooh, you're so abrasive. Ooh, that's so rude. How was that rude? I just told you how I felt. You wanted 100. Are you ready for it? 100 is, I hope that you made it to the ATM before asking me to carry all these things up. That's 100. So I'm gonna keep it 95. But back to verbiage, how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to each other is very, very powerful. And I think if anything, if we're gonna have a message for our future self, it should be of encouragement, it should be of uplifting, and it should definitely be of telling ourselves that we are capable and that it is possible, and be kind to ourselves.
Did you actually say those words to them though in the elevator? Like
which ones? I'll tell you which ones I made up, and I'll tell you which ones I really did say.
Don't feel sorry for me, encourage me. Did you actually say that? Oh
yes, I did. What
was their response to that?
Yeah, I didn't even tell you that part. First of all, that came out of me because I absolutely needed it, you guys. Like, all joking aside, my shoulders were in pain. And I can't give you any more explicit detail how badly I wanted to give up and put these cases of water down, knowing that I would have to bend back over to hoof them back onto my shoulder one at a time, and then watch me do it. So my response was real. It was 104. And when I said, No, don't feel sorry for me. I need you to uplift me. I need you to encourage me. I need you to tell me that I'm going to make it to the 37th floor. I need a party behind me. I need a cheer bus. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a goat. Tell me that I'm going to ram through this. Those were all of my words. And then that's when I could feel the energy in the elevator shift. They're like, yeah, man, you got this. You got this, bro. You got this. It's only just a few more to go. And then the door goes ding, and the door opens. I said, whoo. I said, is this us? They said, no, it's the 36th floor. Okay. This false sense of hope. All right, here we go. Where's my support?
Short-lived.
Where's my
support? It's on the 36th floor.
We're trying to get to the 37th. I'm like, no. I thought it was like that glimpse of hope. I was like, ding, yeah, woo. No, this isn't you. Oh, freak.
That's funny.
But they did start rooting for me. They did start cheering for me, and okay, you got this. You got this. Come on, you got this, man. Yeah. I just wish, I'm not gonna lie, I just wish for a moment, Omega, that one of the guys would be like, here, man, here, let me hold it just for a second.
That was going through my head this entire story, because that's the person that I am.
I know that's who you are.
That's the person. I couldn't sit there and watch you struggle like that. Like, man, where are you going, bro? Let's do this. Like, I'll take one.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you're going
really
to the 37th floor. Hey, Chris, grab that one. You grab this one. You're helping this lady out here? We got you. I know COVID's around, but I would not, believe me, my ego was not so absorbed. I'm like, no, I know why. No, please.
Take this one. This one hurts a little bit more.
That goes to show how willing people are to join you or help you out. Give that helping hand or shoulder in the case when they share a common struggle. When they understand that common struggle, whether and not even just in those situations of like giving you that helping hand, even in a relationship, when you guys have that same, like, you have a common understanding of the struggle it takes for each of you to go through life, whatever that may be, it makes it easier to get through those hard times, because then that person, whether you or that person are willing to go a little bit extra of that, not the extra mile, but probably extra half mile in order to help someone. Ain't gonna take the whole mall with you, but I'll get this elevator with you, like just so you have a little bit of weight lifted off you. What's up?
I have a question I want to ask to everybody, including our listeners. When was the last time you took the weight off of somebody else and decided to share the load?
I feel like that's a good
whether it's
question.
physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. When was the last time you shouldered the weight for somebody else?
I don't even think
also on that other side, it would be, when was the last time you let somebody shoulder that weight for you? Because everybody needs a moment when they need somebody to share the weight for them. So when did you shoulder the weight for somebody else? And when did you let somebody shoulder the weight for you? That's going to be our Discord question.
Absolutely. And to answer my question from earlier, I know we're getting ready to wrap up, but I think the message I would give to my future self is just trust your gut. You were right before, when in doing so, you'll be right again in doing so. Because my gut was telling me this thing is going to be this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. Like I'm wholeheartedly like right into that, and like showing up, we're a year later, and we still in it. While people were like, it's going to be like a couple months. I'm like, yeah, no, it's going to be like 6 months minimum just to get through this first part. So I feel like it'd be good to tell my future self, just trust your gut. Like, sometimes we ignore our warning signs, or our alarms, or even our intuition of like, go for it, do it. Like sometimes you miss those moments. It's just because we're so caught up in overthinking or in our heads and stuff. So yeah.
Initially, I shook my head not and said nothing, but I will say what I always say: conceive, believe, achieve. That's something I've always said, and I'm not going to change it. If your head conceives it, your heart believes it, you can achieve it. So go get it. And as long as I keep telling myself that, I believe that my future self will understand it and will know how to run with it. And the fact that you can do hard things.
Just do it.
All right,
The
Zora
hair
LaBeouf.
shake is what sold that. The hair shake is what sold that for me. I love it. Man, this conversation was amazing.
Yes.
Simply amazing. I mean, this literally takes me back to our very first episode where we just talked, where we had, I mean, it's a new cast, but it has the same feel and flow. We just talked and enjoyed each other's company. We shared some very deep, intimate things. And I mean, even though we didn't cry, somebody probably did, or they probably will. And to say this again, I want to say happy anniversary to everybody. And whether you've been here from our first show or to the current show, we thank you. Everybody in our Patreon, for you guys and your patronage, we appreciate you. We thank you. To those that have been in our Discord, we thank you. For those of you that are following us on our social media and YouTube, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. We care about you. And please continue to have these good conversations, these uncomfortable conversations, these deep conversations, because every conversation is a necessary conversation. And to my better half of a co-host, thank you for being the blessing that this podcast needed, the backbone that keeps us on the straight and narrow. To our special guests, thank you for taking the time out to share your gifts, your stories, your chews, and your smiles and your laughter. It's truly appreciated. The world needs to see more, hear more, feel more, love more. And you guys have definitely provided that this evening. And to our future, thank you.
And to you, I appreciate you being the amazing human being that you are, just in life, but of also being so willing and open to share those things, those important cubes of knowledge that you hold and you've shared with me throughout the growth of my career, myself. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. You know, um, being willing to just jump into this and be like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna say, and then we get here and we're just going for it. Like just to being willing to be yourselves here with us is makes all of this worthwhile. So I appreciate you all and I love you all. As well to our international listeners, we really appreciate y'all. We see the stats growing, so hey, keep spreading it around, and we hope to do some good with that. As well as, if you want to continue in these kinds of conversations, feel free to hit us up outside of here on Twitter or Instagram at Have a Drinkcast, and make sure to use the hashtag Hadcast. That way we can see whatever it is you post. As well as uh go out there and check out this past year of episodes. There is about 58 episodes, not including this one, worth of content that exists out there in the ether that you can just go listen to, that we have so far, and here's to 58 more. and
58,000 more.
58,000 more and going strong. And to our guests, please please, I know y'all had mentioned a few of the things that you've been a part of and you're doing. So please, share some of like Zor, your streaming, where people could check you out for gaming and whatnot, to even join you and be part of your community. As well as Q, drop some of the big things that you might be getting into that you're able to, promote and get ready for.
You can follow me on twitch.tv/ZorDonofDoom. I also have music up on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can listen, stream music, YouTube. My latest my latest single that dropped last year at the height of the BLM movement is Bended Knee. And I have new music coming out pretty soon that has to do with environmental awareness. So there's that.
Ooh, I'm gonna go listen tonight.
Thank you.
I am Q, spelled Kieu. You can find me on Instagram at KIEU008. That's my number 8. And I've been working on my music as well. I just shot 3 music videos in 1 week, 2 in 1 day. That, I don't know how I did it, but it happened. It was great. It was wonderful. Those songs will be released shortly. You can find those on popular streaming situations as well under KIEU. There's only 1 Q. And also you can find me on, if you look me up on YouTube as well. As far as live performances, if you'd like to see me live, next time you're in Vegas, I can actually say this. Next time you're in Vegas, look up Michael Jackson Evolution. It's the brand new show that I'm doing, and this is officially my first public announcement of it. I have never officially said it out loud. It's Michael Jackson Evolution, and it's in Vegas. It's at the Mosaic Theater, and it's on the Strip. If you're looking for it, just look under Vegas.com. You'll find it. What makes this show different from the other Vegas shows, there's Michael Jackson 1, and then there's the Cirque Michael Jackson. What makes this show different is that it actually follows the evolution of Michael from when he was a little boy to when he was a teen to light brown Michael to vanilla Michael. And the dancing, the production, the sets, the costumes, everything is on point. The energy of the cast, it's a great show. So check it out. Michael Jackson Evolution.
Beautiful, and congratulations, Q. It's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My first Vegas show on the Strip. I'm so juiced. It opens this weekend. Woo! It opens this weekend. Yeah, I should say, what are we in right now? It opens in 2 or 3 days. Yeah, so by the time you hear this message, I will be huffing and puffing off the stage, and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so 5 days a week.
Beautiful, man. Oof. That's beautiful.
So you can go clubbing on Friday and Saturday, and then still have something to do on Sunday or Monday.
There you go.
Nice.
I know I'm gonna be planning a trip now, just so I can go see Q.
Now I have 2 shows I have to go see in Vegas.
Ooh.
2 shows.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
What's the other one?
USHERRAYOND. All right. It's like, sorry, hold on. I was gonna get there. I just had to go through the list of Omega swag peeps.
Everybody.
Uh-oh. Thank you. Somebody finally sang.
All right. About that time?
It's about that time, y'all.
Beautiful. All right, grab your glasses. All right, kings, queens, and royals in between. We want to thank you for joining us again on another successful episode of the Have a Drink podcast, where we invite y'all back to sit, think, and have a drink. That's been us. Peace.
Peace.